Hi everyone, this is episode 4. I couldn't believe that we're ready for. Anyway, if it's your first time here, I've done episode 1, 2, and 3. So I would like you to go watch those ones so you can understand where we are. So quickly today, there's a lot to say. So I'm going to see if I can put everything in 4. If not, it might spill to 5. Okay. Um, I said I was going to share my IVF journey with everyone in episode 4 and 5. Remember in episode 1, I said that we saw about 5 experts, no, 7 experts, sorry, 7 experts. And then we had 3 different diagnoses from 3 different hospitals and 3 different doctors. Okay, and all the diagnoses were not the same. So, nevertheless, as at this time, we were already by the time we went for the first IVF. So I need to say a caveat here that I will not be mentioning the name of hospitals. I will not be mentioning the name of doctors. But what I will do is to tell you what to look out for. I'm not a medical person. I'm just a lawyer. But the good thing about it is that after all my experience, my journey for 20 years, and during my journey, I was doing a lot of research and I was checking and comparing notes. And there are a few things that I noticed that I thought I should share so that the next woman will not fall victim of those things. So that is the reason why we are here. Okay. So before we go fully into that, can we say a word of prayer? Father, in the name of Jesus, I thank you for the opportunity that you have given me, Omolara, to share my testimony of your goodness and the fact that you blessed us with a miracle baby after 20 years of marriage. I ask that everyone that is listening or watching me at this moment will receive their own miracles in your own special way, oh God, the way you do things in the name of Jesus. Compliments of the season, everyone. This is a new year, and so there are a lot of expectations. There are women here that thought it will have happened in 2025, but it didn't happen. Don't lose faith, don't lose hope. You should listen to my episode 3. I talked about how to respond to things that people say and how to keep your space full of joy, peace, and all of that. It will help you a lot. So don't lose hope at all. This might just be your year. So I'm not trying to put pressure on you. I'm just saying it as it is. God led me to do this and I'm doing it. Obedience is better than sacrifice. So he is the one that will make sure that everyone that hears it and watches me that is expecting a miracle of a baby or babies receive their answer. So that is God's work. My work is just to obey. And that obedience, I'm obeying as it is. Okay. So quickly, so when the first IVF was in a clinic, a very popular clinic in Ikeja. That's all I'll say. And then I think at that time I didn't know anything about IVF. I was I did. I didn't know much. So what I always thought was, I once you want to do IVF, I didn't know that IVF fails at that time. That was we got married 2004. I think that was 2009. 5 years after when we saw that trying naturally was not working. So I'm not sure I did any research per se. I just thought, oh, once you do IVF, that's it. You're done. Do as many as you want and then have as many children as you want. So I went there with that mind, with my husband and all of that. Of course, we met professionals who told us a lot of things. We sat down, did the process, made the payment and all of that. That one did not even take time. And then by the 7th day, they just said I should check and it was just negative. And then I moved on. It was my first. I just thought, okay, some people say, oh, first cycle does not always work. Sometimes it takes second or third cycle. So we moved on. I continued my work. My husband continued his work, moved on with our life. So in the middle of that, somebody called us and said there was an Indian doctor in Lekki. And that is so good. He knows what to do. He's just focused on fertility. And that the doctor is such that there are other doctors in the hospital, but everybody goes to see him because they believe that it's good. In fact, they say people get there at 6 a.m. and all of that. So we woke up quite early too. Got there early. I can't remember. I think we were like number 50 something thereabout. We stayed, we saw the man, very nice Indian man. Hello, how are you? And I don't want to use the Indian accent. And then he sat us down, asked for my husband, make jokes just for us to relax. And then gave some diagnosis to my husband concerning sperm count, gave him some drugs, did a test for me, and said I should just, after my husband drugs, that they would do my test. That's very, husband's drugs was so important. I think it was a 3 month dose he gave him. So we did all of that and went back, and then the doctor had been moved to an Apapa hospital. So, and then we live on the island. So Apapa was another journey. So we're just thinking, what do we do? And all this while 3 months have passed, and so a lot has happened. We're like, okay, let's try naturally again. We kept trying. I remember I also talked about repeated pattern, the ovulation issue. When you watch it, if you have not watched it, you understand what I'm saying. That one was still on, and all of that. So at a point, we relaxed and said, okay, let's just relax and really re-strategize what we want to do. I think a year or 2 years after, somebody introduced us to another doctor, young, intelligent, accessible, but I heard he was trained in India too, something like that. So somewhere in Yaba, we went to see him. He said that we don't need IVF. All this IVF story is just too much. That madam, you're still very young. I've done all the tests for you. Your body is young. You can carry the baby. That is going to do something called assisted fertility program. So we paid millions for that as well. Gave us lots of natural drugs, a lot, as in bags of drugs. I mean, there's some. I think I have like not. How do I say it now? I can do a lot of capsules. They said they were natural. She gave my husband a lot of capsules. So those capsules were supposed to last for 3 months. Then we will go back. So in the midst of that 3 months, while we're taking those medicine, once a week we're supposed to go to the clinic and do some aromatherapy stuff that they said is good for the womb. They put pins around me, all those things. So those Indian things and all of that. There's so much hope, and then Friday, go to Yaba once a week, all the way. After the 3 months drug, give us another dose of 3 months. We paid some millions again. I know all of this time nothing was happening. Oh. He said we should keep trying. So the guy was even confused. Like, he has done it for this one, he has done it for that one, he has done it. So, after that 6 months, 3 months dose, and that 3 months dose, oh, we're paying money, oh, serious though. I just felt like I was tired. I was a little bit tired. So I was just like, okay, this is natural. And I believe that all the medicine I took were natural. So there shouldn't be side effects. But there's so many things that was just going on. So we now stopped. Anything assisted, we're not trying to have a child again. We just stopped entirely and we continue with our life, go out for socials, come back, just live normally. I know in the midst of all of that, you can imagine the things that were happening. People were asking questions, why are you still barren? In fact, I remember an elderly doctor. Yeah, I went to his hospital too. On the Lagos Island. It's a well-named hospital. He did a test for me. He said he was checking. I can't remember what he checked. Can you imagine? I can't remember now. And then it backfired. I think I fainted the second day, and then I couldn't go to work. So he said that I was supposed to be able to go to work the next day. So my husband flared up, called him. What exactly did you do? Do not understand. So we didn't go back to him. I don't know whether he was angry about that because years later, when he saw us in an occasion, the family occasion in Ikoyi, and he said, "So you are still not pregnant?" I mean, in a crowd, this man is like, I think it was 80 something. And as old as he, we were like going to meet him. I was already trying to kneel down. He said, "You are still not pregnant." Jesus, I wanted to enter the ground. Everybody was looking at who is he talking about. And interestingly, I was even maybe when it was those days when I was still Momo, I'll be crying. I wasn't even crying. I was just saying, "No, sir." I said, "No, sir." Okay, oh, where's your husband? That's my husband. I was not very reluctant to greet him, but just greeted him, and that was it. We couldn't even wait till the end of the program. The people that even said the program, if I told that auntie what her uncle told me, asked me, she would have blasted him. We just let it slide and we left and all of that. So yes, going back, researching. We're not approaching any doctor at that time. We're not going to any hospital. We're just reading, asking questions. We don't know what to do. We don't know what to do. Then suddenly, I think I was going for a conference. Then one of my friends, she's an influencer, a big one. She has twins. So she called me. I said, "Lara, we have twins. There's a hospital in Festac. You need to go. That's why I did mine 2 years ago. Blah, 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 blah." I was so happy that, okay, somebody did it for her and all that. So that was how we started going from island to Festac almost every day. So the first day I went to this hospital, I saw a long queue of women, pictures everywhere. They put pictures, mother and child everywhere. I don't know whether that's supposed to help the mother. I don't understand that. So finally, we saw the doctor. Uh, what I noticed number one was that From his body language, I could see that he has already marked some people that they must do this IVF like 3 times. I will chop their money for like 3 times before I do this thing. Hold on. Let me, before that man, we had gone to see a doctor at a big hospital in Lekki, phase one. It's an old hospital. If I describe it, you will know it. So the young man that we met said, um, he didn't even waste time. Oh, you have over 40 years. He just put two and two together, and for him, it was already four. Just build us 260 something for one test like that. Build us for another test. That sitting I think we gave him some other plus thereabout. Then he booked me for what they call stereoscopy. I needed to check my womb, there's fibroid or anything that may disrupt the IVF process and all of that. At that time, he was already giving us options between IVF and surrogacy and all of that. I didn't know much about surrogacy like I know now. So I didn't really the legal part of it wasn't so clear those days. So I wasn't so like surrogacy. The girl will know me. Then one day she wake up and say, "Give me my child. I carried your child." No, that was then. It's not as tight as now that nobody sees anybody. Everybody signs and goes. You are carrying my baby. You are just a carrier. You are not the owner of the baby. People need to know. So surrogacy, with what I know now, it's not a bad thing to do. If you cannot carry a child, it's painful that somebody is carrying for you, but if you cannot and you want a child, go for it. Yes, there are legal ways, technically right ways of doing it now. The surrogate woman doesn't see you, you don't see the person, you just say the terms that you want. They find someone for you. It's your egg and your husband's sperm that is fertilized. She is just the host. So there's no story of, so she will now come 10 years after and say, you took my baby away. Please stop all that. The world has moved on. So we had all those stories and all of that. But I didn't know much then, so we didn't even take that at all. So the day of the stereoscopy, this man booked us, and then suddenly he took us to another hospital. I said, but this is the hospital that we know now. This is so person. This is how we met. He said, no, that he's trying to move hospital. So apparently, he's a young doctor. He's trying to start his own hospital. We didn't know. So at that time we came in, he was broke because I later found that he was broke. So he just wanted money. He wasn't even clear about what he wanted to do for us. And every doctor, listen to them more, they know what to do. So we went to a different hospital in the same Lekki place one from the place that we initially went. We looked around, we saw some medical people. So we shall went and then they now. But in all of these things, I always see the hand of God. Even when sometimes I feel like I'm supposed to have died, God will just show up in a very humorous way. So we got there 7 a.m. Said I shouldn't eat and all of that. They had changed my clothes to theater clothes and all of that. So we're waiting for. So he said he's not the one that will do it. That he has an expert that's coming from mainland. Some I can't remember the area. So we were waiting. 8 o'clock, 9 a.m., 10 a.m. Where is this expert now? I was already hungry. I was tired. My husband was tired. Suddenly the expert called around 11. I said, something happened. His car broke down. This happened. He can't make it and all of that. Remember, we had already paid this guy. I was already in the states where I'm supposed to have done the stereoscopy. Then to 12, he said, uh, that's all this while he didn't tell us what the old doctor was. He was just saying that we are calling him, he's on his way, he's on his way. Then lo and behold, around 12, past 12, a woman came and she said she was going to be the one to do the stereoscopy. So I said, but they said, so that was when they now opened up and said, oh, the initial guy said they had a car breakdown at 11, since 6 a.m. Car breakdown at 11, and that he couldn't make it. So he had to call this woman. So for me, it was God's intervention. So the woman came, 12:30. I entered theater. They passed what they need to pass to check me. Interestingly, he gave me anesthesia. Not the anesthesia now that you were supposed to be given, and you will be awake, you'll be aware. He gave me anesthesia that made me sleep off. So I slept off. I think about 35 minutes, 40 minutes, they were through, and then they didn't allow my husband to come in. And then I was trying to wake up. They wheeled me out 1 hour, 30 minutes. I was out. So when I woke up, and now I was a bit tired, but I asked him, I said, why did you give me anesthesia that made me sleep? That I hear that there's anesthesia that you don't have to sleep. He said, no, because I was already tired. I waited too long. He didn't want to. I kept quiet. Because for me, anything could have happened. I said, Sophie is not a great, it's not a serious procedure like that. You could have just given me an anesthesia that I would see what's going on. I later found out because I did a stereoscopy again when I had a successful IVF. So they came and say, my womb, do you know the first thing the man says? Ah, your womb is perfect. You can carry, in fact, you can carry three babies at once. This one, this one. Is anything wrong? Was anything treated? I said nothing is needed to be treated. That they didn't need, sorry, I'm speaking. They didn't need to treat anything. That's the next thing is just to start to pay for IVF. Then we start the procedure. We do the just I was just talking. Thankfully, I went to my life that day and we start to think again. I told myself, I said, I feel funny about this guy. I don't know. I just feel so funny. I'm happy on my life, but I feel funny. Number one, there was delay. And number two, anesthesia he gave me, I slept off throughout. A simple procedure. Why do you have to sleep off? When even when you're giving birth, they don't give you so much anesthesia. So my husband said, okay, let's just wait. The lady that introduced us will talk to her. Some months after we heard that the doctor died, he had died of COVID. So I was so angry. I said, so he had COVID and he was operating. How? How did that even happen? We let it go, and so we didn't continue with him. So going back to the doctor at first start. So we'll go back to that. I don't want my videos to be too long. So we'll go back to that. And then we'll talk about the IVF that I did that was successful that gave me my miracle baby. So the things I like you to look at. If you're over 40 and you want to do IVF, just do your research. Don't go with it with desperation. Because I believe some doctors are now, using it against a lot of women. And so when you even walk into the hospital, they're already calculating the number of IVFs you will do. They will make sure that the first one fails. I can say that categorically. Some doctors are doing that because at that stage, women are vulnerable. So once they say, do this, I'll do it. Once they say, I'll do it, they see it in you. So they use that psychology. I will talk about the first hospital and all of that, and I will talk about the successful one, and I will tell you what I noticed. So don't go to any hospital with desperation. You are desperate, yes, don't show it. Don't show it to any doctor, whether good or bad or expert or not. Don't show it. Ask questions, make them uncomfortable. Let them know that you know what you are talking about and what you came for. Yes, it's your money. There are so many hospitals out there. Fertility expert, bah, that's how they write it. IVF success, bah. They will show you pictures of women with children all over the place as if it's an advert. Most of them have already calculated, especially if you now go with one nice car, they're already calculated. In fact, when I was going to do this, one of my doctor friends said, "La, don't let these people come at you. Nobody's going to come at me because I'm not mentioning names, I'm not mentioning hospital. What I want my sisters who are going through this period to know is that some doctors use their vulnerability to cash out. Some doctors, let me not say a lot, some doctors are not committed to allowing you achieve pregnancy. I can tell you that for free. Once they hear you have been looking for child, that's their key. Once they hear you are over 40, that's their key. Once they hear you have tried severally, they will not say in their mind, you will do another severally. Because they believe that you are desperate. Don't show your desperation. Never show it. Never show it. Don't let them catch you showing that you are desperate for a child. There are good doctors out there. There are good hospitals, doctors that are committed, doctors that will give their life so that you can have your own child. They are out there. But there are wolves also out there saying they are fertility expert. They will show you all kind of pictures. They will show you, oh, they've achieved this. 200,000 IVF successful. Ha ha ha. They will do advert. They will be doing advert as if they're selling bread. Please, my sisters, don't show your desperation, even if you are home and abroad. Don't show it. So if you know all of these things, and then you do your research before you go. Do your research, both husband and wife. Families are spend money. So don't show desperation. Take it easy with yourself and pray a lot. Pray a lot. When you pray a lot, God will show you the evil doctors. God will show you the ones that want to just take your money. God will show you the ones that will help you. Go with that information. And I pray that you achieve success this very year in the name of Jesus. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe, share with somebody that needs this. This may just be all that somebody needs to have a baby this year. Share, watch, please, and subscribe. Thank you for watching.